Hey guys, Matt Dog here with another video. This time it's going to be an Eldlich-Mayakashi deck. So this is actually a deck that I've basically taken the deck list from someone who's been getting Master 1 with Mayakashi consistently for the last like 5 months. They're sort of like me where they kind of have their deck that they really like and are just constantly working on it, refining it, and I wanted to basically try it out. So I have a bunch of duels in low diamond. Here you're seeing the basic combo, which is you normal summon this dude, Hajun, the winged Mayakashi. He special summons out Daki, and then you have this long chain of just synchro summoning up over and over and over again, which obviously means that you're weak to hand traps, Max C, and in this case, Nibiru. We are running Max C. We get a draw 2 off of their Nibiru. Now we just go into our Eldlich engine and grab Grass. So we're going to use Grass. We're going to send a bunch of cards. You see that we have the Zombie World package online by getting we have the Zombie World package online. Eldlich gets rid of the Nibiru just cuz, sends the Cursed Eldland, summons himself out. We can use that to send just another random card, whatever. So now we have an untargeted Banish, an untargeted Destroy. We have the Necro World Banshee, which allows us to grab Zombie World. We send all these together as link material. The Glow Up Bloom can special summon another zombie monster. And here's something important. Daki's effect to constantly summon herself back from the grave is if you special summon a Mayakashi from the extra deck. So in this case, we had these monsters, and even though he Nibiru'd us, the path for Mayakashi is to first do that combo to get up to the level 11 Synchro Monster, and then she summons herself out, and then you make the level 2 Mayakashi, and then the level 3, and then the level 4. In this case, we've gotten up to having the level 4 Link Monster and all the Synchros anyways. We can also banish that guy to summon another monster. In this case, we summon out Happy just as a way to recover resources. He's considered a zombie under Zombie World. And of course, the Doom King. So through a Nibiru, we have our full Mayakashi combo, which is to have the Link 4, the Link 3 engrave, who you can banish to summon out one of your zombie synchro monsters. And then we have this whole package of zombie synchro monsters, mostly the level 7, who when he's special summoned allows you to destroy a spell or trap on the field. The level 9, who when he's special summoned allows you to destroy a monster on the field. And the level 11, who just has a high attack and is unaffected by your opponent's active other card effects. So we have a bunch of things we can summon out quick effect using the level 3, and every time we summon a monster, anytime any monster is summoned from any grave, we can target, negate, make its attack 0, and can do that twice per turn. So it's a pretty powerful package. In this case, we have too many monsters on the field, though, so it might be hard to use all of our Eldritch monsters as well, but whatever. So they summon that from the hand. Okay. And it's a Voiceless Voice deck. Okay. How are they going to try to play through us? So in this case, we do want to just negate it. They finally drew a Max C. Good thing they didn't draw that last turn. To get rid of that continuous spell, which would have gotten them a search and other stuff. In this case, we banish Fenrir. We just don't want to deal with it. They do have an Omni Negate now, though. They recover that continuous spell, but you can only activate it once per turn. Unfortunately, they do destroy the level 4, so that is hard. In this case, though, we're just going to link summon into the level 5 Underworld Goddess, and now they can't summon out their monster. If they tried to summon from the grave, the Underworld Goddess can just negate that. Now we've got an Omni Negate. We can banish him to summon out another zombie monster. We can banish the continuous spell, and goodbye. So we just have enormous amounts of resources. I think Xanthos did a great job building this deck. All right, duel number 2 versus some sort of a Snake Eye deck. Oh, I remember this. So here the lesson from this duel is going to basically be, don't be greedy. Life points don't matter that much. You'll see why later. I know they're going first game. We have Triple Tactics Thrust. I don't think they're going to summon another Nibiru. Yeah, in this case, it's pretty much the closest you can get to a brick. Obviously, every deck can brick, and a deck like this, it has a bunch of ways to get to your one card starter. However, if you don't have those, it's possible to not be able to just set 4-pass like other Eldritch decks can. Little Knight's not going to banish Seal Drain. That's not how that works. Summons out this guy. So here, what I should have... I mean, okay, this was probably the right play, but you'll see that it ends up costing me. He clearly had no way to play around my skill drain. I activate Elixir. He uses Max C. For a lot of decks, that means your turn is over, and even for this deck it would, but in his case, it's just a draw one. However, the one draw that he got was Heavy Storm, so now my skill drain does nothing, and he has an SP Little Knight in 4 back row. That's rough, but on the other hand, we still have most of our cards because, like, you know, we bricked last turn. Our first, we're just going to use Eldlich to get rid of the SP Little Knight. We don't want to deal with you. Also, we wouldn't be able to... We don't know which of those 4 cards they are. They all shuffle amongst themselves. Alright, they used 1 card to summon out Rescue Ace. We use both of the Eldlich cards in the grave. We get an Omni Negate, we get an on-targeting Destroy, and Thrust into Grass. Yeah, Thrust is so good, dude. Okay, we pop off, we send all these. So between Glow Up Bloom and Necrobolt Banshee, that's our full Zombie World package. So they destroyed the Doom King, but he's just coming back next turn. That doesn't matter. We banish another Eldlich card, so now we have an on-targeting banish as well. They made it so we can't attack this turn, but we don't care. He's on the field, which means that all of our interruptions are online. So we're going into his turn, and we have an Omni Negate, a Destroy, a Banish. We're going to destroy SP Little Knight, because that effectively is a negate. And we're just going to banish this guy. Yeah, goodbye. Negate that. So now he has 2 cards in hand. What is he going to do? In this case, we want to negate and destroy, because I don't want him linking stuff off or doing anything like that. So in that case, he was going to set that 1 trap from his grave back to the field, but Huaquero just banishes him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a billion resources. Grass is amazing. Uh-oh. Dimension Shifter, Necro Valley, D-Fissure, which is a lot worse in this version of the deck because it has a lot more monsters. Not good. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, it's been a while since my last upload. Basically, I've been working a ton, like long 60-hour days, but I enjoy my job and I enjoy making a lot of extra money. It just means I have less time to do fun stuff like this. Okay, we got to draw 2, Pot of Extrav, Necro Valley. I'm not sure they need to use that until right now, but whatever. Okay, popping off. It's interesting that they chose not to summon out a Rise Heart. Maybe they already have like a Macrocosmos or something, but whatever, we'll see. So we want to go into our full Mayakashi combo, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So they banish a card, they banish another card, banish another card. But now they activated a bunch of monster effects. And we can just grab a Feather Duster. Goodbye. So that's great because they obviously had Necroworld Valley up. They had Kashtira Birth and Prep. So, alright, we've got follow-up for next turn. The Horus Engine gets rid of 2. We'll make the Zombie Vampire. Get another mill. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we got the Mayakashi Trap, which has a couple of effects. And then, obviously, SP Little Knight. That was mostly just to get both sides of the Eldlich engine going. Okay, so we got the Mayakashi Trap, which we can just set and tribute one of our Mayakashi Synchro or Link monsters to make it so they can't special summon anymore. But even in the grave, if we have just a banished zombie monster, we could use this to get like an Eldlich that's banished back in the graveyard. Okay, we've got all that popping off. Here I accidentally set 2 Eldixirs. It really should have been 1 Eldlixir and 1 like Scarlet of White Destiny. Oh, I see. Both of my other Eldritch spells got banished. Okay. Yeah, in that case, SP Little Knight banishing the target of that spell means that they don't summon anything, so they just have 1 card in hand, and we still have all of our interruptions. Goodbye. So you're seeing, even though this is a deck that relies heavily, or has a lot of the Mayakashi engine in it, Xanthos really understood the value of the Eldritch cards because they're constantly getting value, right? Being sent to grave by grass, just by an Eldritch pitching them. It's really good going second. In this case, we have a deck that doesn't really, like, we're not playing to special summon a lot this turn, so we're not just going to use we're not going to use Crossout Designator. Alright, all monsters are considered zombies, which is bad for Voiceless Voice and Tearlament and 1 or 2 other decks. We summon out an Eldritch first, using that, which means now we can use Scarlet Sanguine to summon any monster at all, which will probably be the Doom King. Alright, they don't have the Omni Negate yet. Alright, now they've got an Omni Negate. And the Trap, which can destroy a card or 2. Okay, how are we going to deal with this? Because we still have a number of interruptions, but they have an Omni Negate. We bait out one of the Omni Negates. In this case, we can actually negate the Omni Negate. We destroy the card that gives them an Omni Negate. So now, even though they've cleared our board, yeah, they just add a monster to their hand. Yeah, so they don't have any Omni Negates anymore. They just have this, which it would allow them to destroy a couple cards, but they can't because cards that are warrior or dragon, but they're all zombies right now. All right, so we've got the Doom King, Crossout Designator, don't care anymore, Eldlich, Vampire Sucker. So in this case, I am just kind of like trying to see what I can draw, because the spell means that we can't attack them and we can't get over 4,000 attack. Okay, so King Sark will allow us to clear them. Zombie Vampire. We can actually trigger the banish effect off of our own zombies too. We can't target their cards, unfortunately, so... Oh no, we can, because they're considered zombies. Even better. But they did have the Ceravis in hand to stop that. So this was definitely one of the earlier duels where I was trying to figure out how Mayakashi works. Probably there was a way that I could have won there, but I just sort of like... Oh yeah, this is so bad. We do have the Doom King, and they don't have any... They don't have the level 1 that makes them both be able to become an Omni Negate, but yeah, this is not good. If we can survive to next turn, then things might be better. Alright, now they've got the Omni Negate up. Continuing to summon. So when Ceravis is on the field, he's actually like a solemn warning, basically. Like he can negate the summon of cards. We're not dead. Okay, which means we can still use King's Sarcophagus, and if they don't negate the summon of Doom King, then he would just negate their Omni Negate later. So they're kind of forced to do that. Alright, so they negate the summon of... So, yeah, the way this guy works is when your opponent would special summon, return to the hand, negate the special summon. The way Imseti is worded is you can special summon this card from the grave. You can only special summon Imseti once per turn. However, that summon never happened because it was negated by this guy. So we're just going to summon a second Imseti, and he bounces back to hand to banish it. So now we can grab Happy, which would actually be able to get back both of those other cards. Alright, So in this case, I think I misunderstood the way that happy works. So if another card leaves the field by opponent's card effect, then you can target two banished cards and add them to the hand, which was my plan. I was going to grab two of my banished Imseti cards and I don't have to worry about this guy anymore, even though he was able to summon him multiple times. But because he never hits the field, because the actual summon was negated, now all three of my Imsetis have been banished this turn. Whatever. Take out the trap just cause, summon out an Eldlich, get a pop, don't need to deal with you anymore. Destroy that. So they do have all three of these spells, which is going to allow them to recover quite a bit. We'll probably use Conquistador to destroy one of them. That's unfortunate. They used Magma Hut to banish our Doom King, but we have ways to get him back. They summon the ritual out again. Okay. Yeah, so we destroyed that, so that effect is not going to be happening anymore. Okay. Yeah, so they're grinding through a lot of resources here. They didn't have the Omni Negata on because they didn't have the level 1, so that was lucky that they went for a card protected by King Sark. They do shuffle back King Sark, though, so we are in a bit of a tough spot here. We literally top decked into King's Sarcophagus. Oh my gosh. Here we go. So, yeah, I love the music. We're going to kick them. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye. Yeah, I love those long duels, man. Just grinding it out. That felt like a deck that, like, it felt like we were both like on the same level. You know what I mean? I mean, we're not because we need a few more cards to get going, but you know, it is what it is. So, is this multiple? Yeah, because that last one was 7 turns. Okay, so we've got another Voiceless Voice deck. Yeah, I think there were a lot of Voiceless Voice decks at this time when I was like playing a lot. Obviously, there still are right now, but you know. Okay. I think this one of these next few duels, I'm really going to show off the Mayakashi combo a little more fully. All right, in this case, I do negate Max C. We'll see how much I special summon, though. Summon once, summon twice. Zombie Vampire. Negated. That's rough. Just make a Vampire Sucker. Summon out one of our monsters. Yeah, this was definitely earlier in the combo when I was trying to learn everything. In this case, though, you can just grab Thrust, so we can make it so they can't special summon this turn. Battle Phase, we want both of those cards in the grave before they banish everything. So because they're locked out of special summoning, I just keep King Sarcophagus so that we have a bunch of follow-up for next turn. That matters more than skill drain. They get a normal summon, but that's all they get. Goodbye. Alright, so next turn, what are we gonna do? Yeah, Feather Duster's great against Voiceless Voice. Okay. Summon both of those. We can banish it from the grave, set this guy back, and now he can banish himself to summon one of our zombie monsters. That kicks some serious butt. Okay, very fun stuff. Who are we up against next? Oh, Marincess? I wonder how that's gonna go. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the Mayakashi deck. I don't think it's as strong as some of the decks that feature more like milling rollback and elemental burst evenly matched and stuff like that. But there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do, so it was fun to experiment. All right, we're going to try to go full combo here. We don't need to add any more cards to our hands, so we just completely ignore Droll. That also means we can ignore like a Max C because their own Droll shut it down. Nibiru, we can't negate that, unfortunately. In this case, they stopped us before we got to many bodies, so we can't just get back on track. Okay, Marincess. This is really bad, but we might be able to stop them with our Called By and our Waquero. We'll see. Send a card to grave. Coral an enemy. So we're going to probably try to make it so it's harder for them to link climb, but they already have a total of level 3 bodies. So we get a Banish, another Maxi, and negate that guy too. So we interrupted them a bit, but we're still going to be able to get a quite bit done. Summon another one. Luckily, Marincess has a hard time one turn killing you. Can we get Daki back out? So the level 2 Mayakashi monster requires 2 Mayakashi monsters, so it's hard to make her. Okay. The level 4, during our turn, it's a spell trap negate, and it's a spell trap negate, so it's kind of annoying. I don't think they used Crystal Heart to make it. Yeah, so it's not invincible. Nice. So we baited out, which is fair. That would have just gotten our full combo going. But in this case, we can take out their monsters, and the horse package in general just has very good, like, board-breaking abilities. Goodbye. Nice boss monster. Do we have any Golden Land traps? Yes, we do. Okay. Zombie Vampire is great. Zombie Vampire is basically like get a mill and then also make SP Little Knight. So it's very good going first and going second. Okay. We do have to sacrifice our Conquistador in order to summon him out. The reason we're doing this is because we want to set an Elixir, and then during their turn we can summon out the Doom King. So we trade 1 pop for a constantly recurring Banish and Negate. Solid. Okay, 3 more duels. Let's see. This is against Yubel. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be excited to show you all the deck list in a minute or two. I'm also going to have a link in the description to like the person who actually made this deck's description of it. Okay. Summon, summon. Now we're going full combo again. You know the drill. Synchro 3s, 5, 7, 9, 11. And then... yeah, you'll notice I've had quite a few duels, and it's hard to get the full like Mayakashi combination online, just because it's like all you need is your opponent to not have hand traps, but that's like very rarely the case. Okay, now we make the level 3, summon back out, make the level 4. Okay. She summons out again, but she doesn't really need to do anything. They just get rid of our Imperm, which is too bad. In this case, we wanted to summon out a Mayakashi extra deck monster anyways, so we could tribute it with our trap instead, but that's even better. So in that case, we both destroyed the spell card, which was going to get them searches and allow them to kill us really easily. And we were able to tribute the monster we summoned, allowing us to keep the level 4 Link monster on the field and make it so they don't get to summon any monsters. So yeah, in that case, Yubel got absolutely annihilated. Okay, next is against a Tearlament deck. On the one hand, the fact that they run the Shufflers is bad, right? It makes it harder for us to do stuff in the grave. On the other hand, Zombie World makes it hard for them. So there's a lot of pros and cons in this matchup. Probably discard the Glow Up Bloom. What are we going to get rid of? All right, first let's just see how far we go into the regular combo. Yeah, now I think I am showing off times where I got the full combo going. And ultimately, I feel like the level 7 comes up more, because if there's a single card I want destroyed, I prefer usually to destroy a spell or trap over a monster, at least in this meta. Okay. In the last duel, we had just hard drawn the trap. We also run 3 copies of Mayakashi Return, which can also just search out the trap straight up. We can get rid of Glow Up Bloom now because we don't really care about being locked into zombie monsters. It doesn't activate its effect, whatever. Alright, they do have snow in the grave, which is rough. Use the level 3, pop that. So they do fuse it away, but it doesn't matter, we still have the destruction effect. So, Imseti's effect is non-targeting, so even though they, quote, dodged out of it by having a second Super Poly, we still use Imseti to get rid of the card that they summoned. So, whatever. They use the field spell to grab Kashtira. In this case, I really do not want them to summon Ephemerer, like, at all. I don't want them banishing anything. So, now it's our turn. We have King Sarcophagus. They have no interruptions. Goodbye. Okay, final duel. 6 turns versus Sky Striker. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I like Sky Striker as a deck just because I like decks that are dedicated to going second in a way that isn't like Mekanko, where it's just like really weird ways to like one turn kill your opponent. I like it more when you're like trying to break their board and being strategic. Okay. Cursed Eldland, we can discard 1 Eldlich, discard the card that allows us to special summon a zombie. Zombie Vampire. What are we going to get? They didn't really get anything useful, although they did get a bunch of traps. In this case, we were able to summon out this dude, who can at least get us into the Link monsters, and he also has an effect to Foolish Burial, send a card from our deck to the graveyard. Summon out an Eldlich. Alright, so we've got the level 4 out. We're going to summon a card from our grave, which is just another Eldlich. Mostly just so that we can quick effect Omni Negate using Golden Land Forever, and we don't care about losing this guy. Okay, we drew a card, Evenly matched, that really sucks, assuming they have a second one. They don't. Okay. So we're going to grab Zombie World. Mostly because we want to activate this Elixir to get the Doom King online as quick as possible. We destroy that, which means that their linkage can't do anything, but whatever. Oh, they try to activate Thrust, try to grab Grass, but we can literally just use Crossout Designator to negate Thrust. Yikes. So they do destroy a couple cards. However, because I so in this case, I didn't quick effect summon out the Doom King. I quick effect summoned out Happy, who now, even though they destroyed 2 cards, with Sky Striker Afterburner, he can just grab back our King Sarcophagus and our Harpies Feather Duster that we milled. Yeah, that's solid. I think this duel you're going to see that Happy is like the MVP. Okay. Didn't mill anything useful. They steal one of our Eldliches to protect their life points, basically. They activate a Maxi. So in this case, we do kind of have to just, like... At this point, I was trying to see if there was some way I could kill him, because I knew he didn't have any interruptions. And I also knew that Sky Striker typically doesn't have a lot of hand traps, because they usually focus on board breakers. In this case, they did have the Ash Blossom, but it was more of just a way for us to get Glow Up Bloom in the grave. Unfortunately, with Ray in the grave, yeah, it was just, they had just a little bit too many life points, so they're able to just barely survive. They do have the field spell, though, so they can't evenly match just again. Probably looking for a Feather Duster, right? Nope. They grab Engage. Oh, they already had Feather Duster, okay. So in this case, we're actually able to summon out the level 4. So if they ever summon from the grave, we can negate some of their cards. We got rid of the field spell, which I think was probably super greedy. Like, at this point, I know they have evenly matched. It doesn't matter, they have a lightning storm. Oh my god. But you saw that Happy was able to grab a King Sarcophagus again, and another zombie world, actually. So now it looks, from his perspective, like that he's got a lot of control. But remember, like 2 turns ago, I used Happy to grab Feather Duster, and I still have another copy of King's Sarcophagus because of Happy. So destroy all of your back row. They're gonna steal a couple of my cards. So that's too bad because Doom King Balderak can negate and banish whenever I activate zombie cards. I don't know why I activated Eldlich there. I think the idea was to still try to find a way to kill him, but it's like, just attack him. I should just attack him there. Negate that effect, whatever. I got lucky. Summon out another Eldlich just cause the Doom King... like last turn, he hit us with the Feather Duster and a Lightning Storm, and literally this turn, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think this is more speaking to the power of Happy, but whatever. They have an SP Little Knight, which gets a banish. They they banished. Oh my gosh. So they banished our King Sarcophagus, but Happy literally just grabbed a King Sarcophagus again. Oh my god, I love this. And there they tried to grab Sky Striker Engage, but I can just use Huaquero to banish it. And so I banished their Mobilize Engrave, or I Engage Engrave. I destroyed their link with the Conquistador, and then when they tried to summon out the level 4 guy, I just called by it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that feels awesome. Okay, so as you can see, this was a really fun deck to play with. Like, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Let's go over the deck profile. There are probably some changes that I could see myself trying to make to it, but this is the deck that got Xantos to Master 1 just a few weeks ago. So, going over the deck list, obviously, the Mayakashi engine is 3 of these guys, mostly to special summon Daki to do the full combo. There's also this card, which if you special summon him, if you control Mayakashi card, you can special summon it from your hand to your graveyard. It's kind of a way, if you mill a bunch of cards, it's like an extra option to summon from the grave. He does lock you into Mayakashi extra deck monsters, which means that, like, if you've already gone full combo and summoned the Link 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then the Link 2, 3, and 4, then you really don't want to be on the field anymore, because at that point he's like locking you out of your extra deck. But it's just a nice like little tool. Additionally, we have 3 of these, which can search out either like your starter or send this guy to grave so he can special summon himself, or can grab you the Mayakashi Trap. Obviously, you could use this in the regular mill deck, regular Eldlich mill deck, and just use its effect, like copy its effect using rollback. And also it has a pretty strong graveyard effect, which allows you to grab a card that was banished and put it back in your grave. The main use that this trap has in Mayakashi is you'll have done this whole thing, you'll have your level 4, which has the 2 super powerful negates that it can use per turn that also make your card go to 0, and that the negate never goes away. It's like forever. And then you have the level 3, which can quick effect banish and special summon a invincible monster, monster destroy, or spell card destroy. And you would use the Mayakashi trap to banish it from your graveyard, grab the level 3 Link monster, and put it back from your banished zone into your graveyard, which means for 2 turns, you can quick effect summon out one of your synchro monsters. The synchro monsters also have another effect where if here, if a link monster is destroyed, you can banish one other zombie, and if you do, special summon it. And then this guy's, if a level 11 is destroyed, you can banish a zombie, special summon. If a level 9, 5, you know, and so on. So basically, it's like you make the level 4 at the top, then if she gets destroyed and you have room in your monster zone, then you can start summoning this guy into this guy into this guy. Apparently, there's a lot of people who like to just not have him because, like, you prefer to just special out, like, the monster destroy or the spell trap destroy. You prefer not to special summon the invincible card. But his real value is making it so that you have all these monsters that constantly come back from the grave if, like, your Link 4 gets destroyed. You never really saw that come up in our duels because there's a lot of ways that decks can lock your monster in the back row, banish a card from the field, whatever, bounce, shuffle a card back into the deck. So that effect doesn't matter as much as what effect it has if it's quick effect summoned from the grave, but whatever. It's a cool engine. I like it. Other things. So this deck also features the usual suspects of Maxi, Ash Blossom, Imperm, and then like a crossout as like an additional way to negate your Ash Blossoms and Maxis. Mostly because like Maxi obviously hurts this deck a lot because you have to summon like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monsters from your extra deck on top of Daki constantly summoning yourself back from the grave. So like Maxi does kind of like ruin this deck. So you need to run Ash Blossom. And if you're running Ash Blossom, you know, you might as well run Maxi too, because at that point you're committed to hand traps. And if you're running both Ash Blossom and Maxi, you might as well run Crossout so you have another way to negate Maxi. In my other mill deck, I don't really use hand traps because we don't really care about hand traps. We don't care about negating Maxi. Therefore, we don't care about having a bunch of other cards that can negate Maxi, and we don't need to run Maxi. But in this version, you do. Other cards, we have the Doom King package, which obviously Necroworld Banshee, Doom King, and a couple copies of Zombie World, which is a really potent engine where if you just mill a couple of cards to your grave, you can have this like recurring, really powerful boss monster and sort of pseudo floodgate. The 5th card in the Zombie World package is obviously Glow Up Bloom, who can banish and special summon ideally the Doom King, but possibly also your Golden Lord. This deck also features a lot of Eldlich cards. It has 3 Eldliches, which maybe isn't as necessary in this deck because it's not like the Toy Box deck where like Eldlich is like an actual starter. But, you know, he's running at 3. I'm not questioning him. I like him. I like Eldlich. And then what else do we have? We also have Mizuki as a little like fun tech. Banish it from your grave, target a zombie monster, special summon it. You saw in some duels, when you have Zombie World on the field, you can banish this guy and summon anything, like one of your Horus monsters. Pretty cool. And then you have the Horse package, which is obviously 3 of the Imseti. You've got a Happy and 3 King Sarcophaguses. A lot of these cards get value off of being sent to the grave. So having an engine that requires you to send cards to grave is just a no-brainer. Triple Tactics Thrust as a way mostly to search out grass, but then you also have a couple other cards like Feather Duster that you can grab. This deck does not run evenly matched because we rely more on all these other cards. I could definitely see someone cutting something to throw in evenly matched though. Foolish Burial Goods. Obviously, there's a lot of great cards you want to send to your grave. If you already have Zombie World, for example, you could use that to send the Doom King. You could send Mizuki to basically to turn it into Monster Reborn. 1-for-1 is great because then you can special summon out Hajin really easily, which is your best starter for the deck. Obviously, we have the full Eldlich package, which is triple Cursed Eldland for the searches, triple Gold Conquistador, a couple Aqueros. I don't usually run Golden Land Forever in my mill deck. First, because it doesn't have a graveyard effect, which means you have to have multiple Eldlich spells and traps on your field so that you don't run out and you don't have your chain get cut off. But in this case, you usually do. We're running a lot more Eldlich cards like Black Awakening and White Destiny, because those are cards that get value off of being sent to the grave. They can summon out your zombie monsters, and if you already have an Eldlich, then you can summon out any zombie at all from the deck or from your hand, for example. So that's another synergy that Eldlich has in other zombie decks, is that these cards can summon out any of them from anywhere once you have the Golden Lord on the field. What else are we missing? Cross out, called by, because we have a lot of hand traps. Imperm. We have a lot of hand traps, and it can be nice to negate your opponent's like Snake Eyes Ash or something. Pretty potent stuff. And obviously a Rivalry of Warlords, because we're running the Zombie World package. It locks their opponent into zombies, and if they aren't running a zombie deck, it means they can't summon at all once they have one monster on the field. And Skill Drain, because obviously we have like the Horus package, we have a bunch of big attack monsters we can summon really easily. Just turn off all their monsters, make it so they can't summon from their deck anymore, blah blah blah. In the extra deck, you saw that the Zombie Vampire is clutch. He comes up a ton when you're using your Horus engine. Basically, you use this, and then you can use him plus the monster you summon to make a SP Little Knight, so it's still like a board breaker. Link Karibo, I never ended up making him, but like according to Xantos, there's value to like normal summoning this guy even after the effects are gone, making Link Karibo, and then letting your opponent actually destroy Link Karibo so that you can summon out the level 11. We've got Vampire Sucker as a way to get like extra draws and stuff, and then you just go right from there into the the Vampire Fascinator, or the level 3 Mayakashi, Link Monster, whatever you need. Avendred Savior is there mostly as a way to Foolish Burial your Doom King Baldurak, but I did have one duel, I don't think I showed it here, where I make it. I attack a monster with high attack, and that monster can't get killed by Avendred, but now he's been lowered just enough that my Eldlich is able to hit over them, because that effect to make it lose attack isn't just during that battle step, it's for that entire turn. And finally, the Underworld Goddess. We just have ways to summon tons of bodies, and the Underworld Goddess is like a generic monster that you can summon, get a lot of those bodies off the field so you can summon even more, while still like getting rid of one of your opponent's monsters, negating your opponent's entire field, and so on. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this deck, and I'm looking forward to getting back to you with even more Eldlich content in the very near future. That's all for this video. Peace.